Hello, you're watching Weekly Highlights program on Azərbaycan Television with the major developments of the week. I am your host, İlham Məmmədov. Now, first, let's take a brief look at some of the top stories of this week. On January 26, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham received Gideon Sar, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the State of Israel. President İlham attended inauguration and groundbreaking ceremonies of new enterprises in Sumqayıt Industrial Park. On January 26, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham received Gideon Sar, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the State of Israel. During the conversation, the recent meeting between the presidents of Azerbaijan and Israel held in Davos a few days earlier was fondly recalled. It was noted that issues on the bilateral agenda were discussed during that meeting. Emphasis was placed on the successful development of relations between the two countries in various areas, including economic, trade, energy, tourism, and other fields. Cooperation in agriculture, water resources management, high technologies, and artificial intelligence was highlighted. The contribution of reciprocal visits and contacts at various levels to deepening cooperation was also noted. The sides also underscored the role of the Intergovernmental Commission, with particular mention of the recent holding of its next session. Gideon Sar stated that he was accompanied on this visit by a large delegation of representatives of the business community. He noted that the Azerbaijan-Israel Business Forum, to be held during the visit, would contribute to the development of economic and trade ties between the two countries. He expressed gratitude to President İlham for the state-level care shown toward the Jewish community in Azerbaijan. The sides also exchanged views on other issues of mutual interest. On January 27th, President İlham attended inauguration and groundbreaking ceremonies of new enterprises in Sumqayıt Industrial Park.
President İlham participated in the opening ceremony of the mirror sheet production plant of Azermirror LLC in Sumqayıt Industrial Park. Minister of Economy Mikhail Jabbarov first briefed the head of state on the industrial zones established across the country and the activities of the Sumqayıt Industrial Park. It was reported that currently 104 enterprises operating in industrial zones nationwide have commenced production activities. To date, more than 7 billion manats have been invested in industrial zones, resulting in the creation of over 11,000 permanent jobs. In the next phase, investments totaling nearly 1.74 billion manats are planned under ongoing projects. Thus far, industrial zones have produced goods worth a total of 19.4 billion manats, of which 6.1 billion manats worth has been exported. Products manufactured in these zones are currently exported to 70 countries worldwide. The establishment of industrial parks and districts across the country, along with the creation of a favorable environment for entrepreneurial activity, reflects a successful industrialization policy aimed at diversifying the economy and accelerating the development of the non-oil sector. Industrial zones plays a key role in increasing innovation and production efficiency, promoting high-tech manufacturing, expanding export potential, and boosting employment. Currently, 8 industrial parks operate in Azerbaijan, including Sumqayıt, Qaradağ, Pirallahı, Mingəçevir, Balaxanı, Hacıqabul, Ağdam, and the Araz Valley Economic Zone in Jabrail district. Efforts are underway to establish the Nakhchivan Industrial Park and the new Western Industrial Park, covering the territories of Gəncə and Şəmkir district. In addition, industrial districts in Masallı, Neftçala, Sabirabad, and Sharur contribute to the development of production and entrepreneurial activity. The Sumqayıt Industrial Park covers a total area of 640 hectares and currently hosts 40 resident enterprises. The total value of the projects amounts to 6.7 billion manats, with actual investment reaching 5.5 billion manats. These projects are expected to create nearly 8,800 jobs, of which 6,135 have already been filled. The total sales volume of resident enterprises has reached 15.4 billion manats, including 5.7 billion manats in exports. Rüstem Abbas, founder of Azərbaycan LLC, informed the president about the enterprise. It was noted that the company was granted resident status in the Sumgayıt Industrial Park in 2023. Built on a 1-hectare plot, the mirror sheet production plant provides permanent employment for 30 people and has an annual production capacity of 900,000 square meters of mirror sheets. In addition to meeting domestic demand, the products are planned for export. The project, based on Chinese technology, has an investment value of 6.13 million manats. The Azərbaycan Business Development Fund under the Ministry of Economy allocated a preferential loan of 1.5 million manats for the project. In line with the incentives available to industrial park residents, Azərbaycan LLC has also benefited from tax and customs exemptions amounting to 600,000 manats. The development of the non-oil industry remained a key priority of Azerbaijan state policy under the leadership of President İlham. Ongoing measures focus on the effective use of resources, the application of innovative approaches and advanced technologies, the formation of new industrial sectors, and expansion of competitive production. President İlham participated in the inauguration of the cardboard and box packaging production facility of Baku Cardboard and Box Factory LLC in the Sumgayıt Industrial Park. Kamran Salmanlı, head of Baku Cardboard and Box Factory LLC, briefed the head of state on the enterprise's operations. It was reported that Baku Cardboard and Box Factory LLC, which was granted resident status in the Sumgayıt Industrial Park in 2023, established the cardboard and box packaging production facility on nearly 3 hectares of the park's territory. Utilizing Turkish and Chinese technologies, the facility will produce 55 million square meters of cardboard and box packaging annually. The project is planned in 2 phases. The first phase involves the production of cardboard and boxes, while the second phase will focus on recycling local raw materials required for cardboard production. In addition to meeting domestic market demand, the products are intended for export. The investment value of the facility amounts to 20 million manats. The Azərbaycan Business Development Fund under the Ministry of Economy allocated a preferential loan of 2 million manats for the establishment of the enterprise. The facility has created 64 permanent jobs. Benefiting from all incentives provided to industrial park residents, the enterprise has enjoyed tax and customs exemptions totaling approximately 1.3 million manats. Broad incentive and stimulation mechanisms are applied for residents of industrial zones to promote the development of entrepreneurship. Residents are provided with ready-made infrastructures created at the state's expense, including gas, electricity, water, wastewater disposal systems, internal roads and railways, as well as fiber optic internet lines. At the same time, residents are exempt for 10 years from property, land and profit taxes, as well as from value-added tax and customs duties on imported machinery, technological equipment and devices intended for production purposes. The head of our state laid the foundation stone for the polypropylene and laminated bag production facility of a non-LLC in the Sumgayıt Industrial Park. Kamran Rızayev, founder of non-LLC, briefed the head of state of the future enterprise. It was reported that non-LLC, which was granted resident status in the Sumgayıt Industrial Park last year, will construct the production facility on the hectare of the park's territory in line with the project. Utilizing German technology, the facility will have an annual production capacity of 1,680 tons of laminated bags and 1,440 tons of polypropylene bags, totaling more than 3,120 tons. The products will primarily meet domestic market demand. The facility will create 140 permanent jobs. The total investment volume amounts to 11.2 million manats. The Azərbaycan Business Development Fund under the Ministry of Economy plans to allocate a preferential loan of 3 million manats for the establishment of the enterprise. The imported equipment for the facility is planned to be exempt from value-added tax and customs duties upon importation.
On January 30th, President İlham received Maria Papakonstantinou, the newly appointed ambassador of the Hellenic Republic to Azerbaijan.
The ambassador presented her credentials to the head of state. President Ilham Aliyev held a conversation with the ambassador. The head of state fondly recalled his meetings with Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis during COP29 in Azerbaijan and the United Nations headquarters in New York last September and on the sidelines of other international events. He noted that fruitful discussions on various aspects of bilateral relations were held during those meetings and underscored the importance of maintaining active political dialogue for the further development of Azerbaijan-Greece relations. Emphasizing that Azerbaijan and Greece cooperate in a number of areas, including energy security, which today is a crucial factor of global security, President Ilham Aliyev expressed hope that contacts between business communities would expand, mutual investments would be implemented, and that the ambassadors of both countries would play an important role in advancing bilateral partnership. The head of state wished the ambassador success in her diplomatic activities. Maria Papakonstantinou expressed her honor at being appointed ambassador to Azerbaijan and stated that she would spare no effort to further develop bilateral relations in green energy, agriculture, and other fields. She also highlighted the importance of establishing direct air links between the two countries. During the meeting, the sides noted the significant potential for expanding cooperation in politics, economy, energy, investment, transport, culture, art, education, tourism, and other areas, and exchange views on issues of mutual interest.
President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, received Berlian Helmi, the incoming ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to Azerbaijan.
The ambassador presented his credentials to the head of state. President Ilham Aliyev conversed with the ambassador. The head of state recalled his contacts with the president of Indonesia in Davos and Sharm el-Sheikh and informed him that he had invited him to make an official visit to Azerbaijan. President Ilham Aliyev stated that it's a great honor for Azerbaijan to be the first country admitted to the D8 Organization for Economic Cooperation since its founding, and he expressed his gratitude to all member states, including Indonesia, for their support in this matter. The head of state characterized this milestone as an embodiment of the respect and brotherhood shown towards Azerbaijan. Hailing the development of relations between the two countries, President Ilham Aliyev emphasized the importance of further strengthening political, economic, mutual investment and business cooperation. The Azerbaijani president wished the ambassador success in his future activities. Expressing gratitude to the head of state for the reception, Berlian Helmi said that during his tenure he would work diligently to strengthen friendship and mutually beneficial cooperation between our states and peoples. During the conversation, they had an exchange of views on the prospects of Azerbaijan-Indonesia bilateral relations.
On January 30th, President Ilham Aliyev received Andreas Garde, the newly appointed ambassador extraordinary and plenipotentiary of the Kingdom of Norway to Azerbaijan.
The ambassador presented his credentials to the head of state. President Ilham Aliyev then held a conversation with the ambassador. The head of state emphasized the importance of developing bilateral ties between Azerbaijan and Norway, noting that cooperation between the two countries began in the energy sector and that there are favorable opportunities for further expanding relations. President Ilham Aliyev wished the ambassador success in his diplomatic activities. Expressing his satisfaction with his appointment and with the meeting with the head of state, Andreas Garde stated that he would spare no effort during his tenure to contribute to the development of relations between the two countries. The ambassador congratulated President Ilham Aliyev on the progress achieved in the peace agenda between Azerbaijan and Armenia. The head of state thanked him for the congratulations and noted that Azerbaijan would continue its efforts to strengthen peace. The ambassador also informed that Norway will be represented by a high-level delegation at the World Urban Forum to be held in Azerbaijan. During the meeting, it was emphasized that both Azerbaijan and Norway are energy supplies to the European Union, and energy security issues were discussed in these contexts. The sides exchanged views on the bilateral agenda, including cooperation in economy, trade, energy, including renewable energy, investments, the establishment of business contacts, transport connectivity in the region, and held effective partnership within the framework of COP30.
The head of state Ilham Aliyev received Sally Ann Vincent, the newly appointed ambassador extraordinary and plenipotentiary of the Commonwealth of Australia to Azerbaijan.
The ambassador presented her credentials to the head of state. President İlham then held a conversation with the ambassador. The head of state noted that despite the geographical distance between the two countries, there are strong opportunities for cooperation in economic, trade and investment spheres and praised the development of political relations. President İlham wished the ambassador success in her diplomatic activities. Sally Ann Wilson expressed an honor at being appointed ambassador to Azerbaijan, fondly recalled her recent visit to the country and stated that she would spare no effort to expand bilateral ties. She expressed gratitude for the letter sent by the head of state a few days earlier to Samantha Mostyn, Governor-General of Australia, on the occasion of Australia's national holiday. The ambassador highlighted cooperation established between Azerbaijan and Australia within the framework of COP29, recalling that her country was represented by a large delegation at the event. She also touched upon Australia and Turkey's hosting of COP31, noting Azerbaijan's efforts in this regard and highly appreciated. Sally Ann Wilson emphasized that Azerbaijan will host the World Urban Forum, one of the United Nations' most prestigious events this year, and stated that Australia will be represented by a large delegation. During the meeting, the sides discussed cooperation in political, economic, green energy and other areas of mutual interest, noting that reciprocal visits at various levels play an important role in deepening relations. It was also noted that next year will mark the 35th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between Azerbaijan and Australia.
That was all for the week. Thank you for watching us and stay tuned not to miss the next edition of our program.
Təyyarədə gecikmə var. Biraz yubanacağım.
Siz AzTV xəbərə baxırsınız. İndi AzTV-nin mobil tətbiqi ilə ən son xəbərləri istənilən yerdə, istənilən an izləyə bilərsiniz.
Azərbaycan Radyosu 105 FM.
Oğuzlar yatar, bircə baxışla günü oyadar. Gəl baxışınla baharı qaytar, quşlar qayıtsın, qoy qatar qatar.
Hazırdır.
Deməli hələ baxmağa vaxtımız var.
Azərbaycan Televiziya start verildi. Aslında buradan iki lapsı görürük. Davamı necə gələcək?
Təəssüf edirəm xanım, gecikmisiniz. Konsert artıq başlayıb.
Artıq AzTV-nin yeni mobil tətbiqi ilə bizi istədiyiniz yerdə canlı izləyə biləcəksiniz. AzTV, İdman TV, Mədəniyyət TV, Azərbaycan Radiosu və Beynəlxalq Radio. Hamısı bir tətbiqdə, bir toxunuş uzaqlığında. Bunun üçün mobil cihazlarınızda Android üçün Play Market, iOS üçün App Store-dan AzTV mobil tətbiqini yükləyin.